So, your real life is your real life. So the more authentic you are into who you are, and then actually say like, guys, look, be real with people.
Yeah.
Like you got your nuck if you bucks that sometimes it might make you want to just knock somebody.
And even nuck if you buck, it's like,
right? You know what I mean?
Nuck if you buck. If you fuck with me,
you're right, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like there's a build up.
It's a build up, right?
Well, damn. If you want to change my mind,
I'm just saying, like, you got to put it in perspective.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I like that. What's up, you guys? Welcome to the 312 podcast. I am your host, Ashley Diana, a girl from Chicago creating spaces for millennials to have wholesome conversations that are real, they're raw, and they're relatable. We laugh a lot, we cuss a little bit, and we promise you're going to learn something about yourself when it's all said and done. Don't be shy. This is a safe space. So, what's the 312? What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of the 312 podcast. I am your host, the Ashley Diana. If you're just here, make sure you watch all of this episode and then go back to catch up on what we've done before. And if you've been here since day one, thank you. I love you. Welcome back to another very good episode. Today I have a special guest. I'm very excited about this one, as I am all my other ones. But today, welcoming to the 312 podcast for the first time, and hopefully the first of many.
Right.
We have singer-songwriter D.Lylez. What's up? Oh, let's not forget Grammy nominated. Let me not hello. Let's be clear. Welcome. How are you?
Man, I'm feeling pretty good, man. I'm actually excited that you having me here today,
Yes.
On this luxurious day that it is.
Ooh, I love that. And you've been here before, though, right?
I actually have on a couple of occasions, just,
Okay.
shooting things on and off, just performances and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah,
And I remember I had saw that. I'm like, oh, wait, that's here.
yeah. This place is actually great. This is a great space to be in.
It's dope. So I'm glad you're here with me.
Thank you.
So the first thing that we do is introduce our cocktail.
Okay.
I read the assignment. I understood it. We got your tequila.
See?
And I want to do the shot first because it is not Casamigos. And even my girl that was here before, I want to get y'all off Casamigos.
You want to off Casamigos?
I want to get y'all off of it.
So
it ain't good.
So you have an assignment for us.
It ain't good. I got an assignment.
Okay.
So let's do our shot first. I want you to tell me what you think about it. It's a really good tequila. It's 100% authentic. Okay. I'll tell you the name after this because they are not sponsoring this episode. But let me know what you think. If you can think of what it tastes like in comparison to
all right, cheers.
Casamigos.
Cheers.
So, cheers. What we thinking?
It's it's smooth, but then it's got that little
kick.
It's
still
kick
there.
at the top. It's at the top.
I like it. It has a little vanilla taste, and I think
Definitely
from what I can remember in my bartending days, that taste comes from the barrel. So it depends on how aged it was. And this is 100% agave tequila, I believe.
That's some good
it's
stuff.
It's really
then,
good,
right?
and it's cheaper than Casamigos. Yes. So I'm gonna give you the
name. You can't say the name.
No, not on this.
Not on
When I get their sponsorship dollars, for sure.
All right, for sure.
But I'll tell you after the show.
All right.
But yeah, so we have our tequila mixed drinks today. Mm-hmm. So cheers to you being here. Okay. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Boop.
Boom.
Let's get it. Oh, that's good. It tastes like water.
You
Did I do a good mixture?
Yeah,
okay.
You got that pretty good.
Okay. So the other thing that we do at the beginning of every episode is our check-in. So it's what's the 312? And that is how you are mentally, spiritually, emotionally, however you want to define it. So what's the 312?
That's actually great. I want to say mentally, I want to say I'm leveled, I'm balanced with it. As a creative, you got to have some type of balance. You're either going to be either on this side or you're going to be to the right or to the left. And I feel like I'm in this space where I'm just more in love with just who I am in this moment, right? And then I want to say spiritually, I'm trying to get more in tune with, just, God and everything, and just really honing in on myself and then what it means to really just be a vessel to other people, more than anything, right? Man, physically, I feel great. Like, it's been a journey, with health. I've been in the gym a lot. You know what I'm saying?
You.
I'm trying to create another type of sexy for myself.
Hey,
so
you hear him for myself.
Yeah,
Do it for you.
Yeah, because before, like, I did it for other reasons that
Yeah.
wasn't healthy, and so now it's healthier
for you.
Do it. Yeah.
I love that for you.
Thank you.
And what are we in? Well, when you guys see this episode, it's gonna be June.
Okay.
But we're filming into
perfect.
April. God, it's April, right? God damn, what month is it, y'all? So for you to still be in the gym in April,
yeah,
you're past that, like, New Year's, new me.
Oh, you know what? It started June of last year.
Okay, good for you. So you've been consistent
with it. Yeah.
That's what's up. And being in the gym, being physical, really helps your mental.
It does.
It gets to a point where, and I've been just in the gym consistently. Yes. I don't know, all my life. Yeah, I've been in sports and all that good shit too.
Yeah,
and
lucky.
Then exactly. So it's not like that for everybody. So when you get to discover it into your adulthood and you hang on to that, you get a lot out of that. A lot of energy, a lot of just like you just being in a good mental space. When I have bad days, I will drag myself out that house to get to the gym.
Cause like who wants to go? But you just do it, and then like at the end of it, you're like, "Damn, I
feel
did
good."
It.
Or even in the middle of it, it'll be times where I'll start in the gym and I'm just like, I don't fucking feel like doing this. And then as my adrenaline gets to pumping, I'm like, I see myself in the mirror. I'm like, okay, let's keep doing this.
It's the progress, that actually gets you like excited.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But when you're doing it, it's like going through it. It's like, I got to do this again because I got to go. But then along the way, it's like, okay, I got to keep doing this because I like my results.
Good. Well, I'm happy for you. So
Thank you.
So let's go ahead and dive into some icebreakers we always do.
Okay.
I wanted to do like some rapid. Here we go. Into me not being able to talk already, y'all.
You got shot. Already, I don't know.
Rapid fire questions. And so I don't know if you've ever done this before, but basically it's real quick questions back to back to back.
Okay.
The first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
And we're just going to start there. Let's get to know you a little bit more.
All right.
First things first, talking or texting?
Texting.
Favorite day of the week?
Wednesday.
What, really?
Yeah.
Is that because you're like, it's like hump day, you in the middle?
That's hilarious. But Wednesday, actually, you wouldn't think it is, but Wednesday is like my Saturday sometimes.
Okay, because you done went through the weekend to...
The first 2 days, you can go hard, and then Wednesday is like, I can pick and choose.
Yeah, what you want to do. Okay, understood. If you could pick a power, invisibility or super strength?
Man, Jesus. Super strength.
Okay. I would choose invisibility. I don't know why, but it's just like, if y'all ain't have to see me and I can do what I wanted to do.
But you know what? It's a price to pay with that. It's a price
How
to
so?
pay with
What would you say?
Because, I mean, to be invisible sometimes, right, you can't control whether you're visible or not, even without those superpowers. But having it, you're actually putting more of invisibility on you because now you're lonelier than ever. You don't have anybody else.
Well, damn. If you want to change my mind.
I'm just saying, like, you got to put it into perspective. You know?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I like that. Gold or silver?
Gold.
Gold. Okay, me too. Say one word in Spanish. Not the word, one word, but what a word in Spanish.
Oh, I know this.
Not hola.
No. It's compromiso. What is it? Compromiso. Something that means
like
excuse
compromise?
me.
Oh, perdón.
No, it's. Don't y'all butcher me. I'm trying to get it right, but.
But it's something like that.
It's something like that, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, something. I'm gonna get butchered, but it's okay.
Mi corazón.
Yeah,
it's mine.
That's yours.
My heart.
Oh, cause corazón. Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah. Okay.
So would you have all the money in the world or all the freedom?
All the freedom.
And I feel like people who, I won't say people with money, but like if you're in a certain comfortability within your finances, I feel like most people would, in that instance, choose freedom because it's like, look, all money ain't good money, y'all. It's true. Not. I want to be free.
More money, more problems.
Let us free.
Yeah.
So if your life was a story, what would be the title?
Damn. That's actually great. The title, Doing Me.
Ooh, okay. I like that. I like
Yeah,
that. Because he's doing him.
Yeah.
And that's how you can define it. I like that.
Yeah, it's a true story.
I think mine would be like, what the fuck? Because I kid y'all not. Like, I really wish I could have a camera crew follow me around. Like,
Facts.
because it's like, y'all, some of the shit that happens, like this morning. Oh, let me tell you about this morning. So my boyfriend is, he's in the military, so he's away for his annual training. Okay. He's in Hawaii having a fucking ball. And I kid you not, anytime he's not home, he's in fucking Hawaii. Love you, babe, but damn.
I'm in the wrong field.
You feel me? But every time he's not away, whether that be for the weekend, for him to go to his base for the weekend, all of the centipedes and spiders in our house fuck with me. I kid you. They don't ever show up when he's home, okay? But when he's not home, it's like all of them just start. And I have like the worst arachnophobia, like centipedophobia. I don't know if that, like what that word would be.
I do not,
bro.
I do not mess with spiders.
I had everything set up in the house. My son took everything out to my car. I literally just had to go to the bathroom real quick before I left. Lo and behold, I come in my fucking room. What I see on the fucking wall above my bathroom door, a fucking centipede. The biggest, okay.
Burn the whole house down.
Man, I literally sat there and I had the shoe in my hand. I feel like he saw me. I don't know if they can see us. Like we feel like
I feel like they can. They feel vibration. Yeah.
But like he was crawling around and he stopped right above my door as I got the little shoe in my hand because I gotta wait till he comes down. I can't kill a bug up on the ceiling because if it falls, I freak the fuck out.
Nah.
Bro, he stood over, and you know how the base is for your door, so it's like kind of bumpy. So I'm like, all right, let me let him move from the frame to the actual door, and I'm gonna kill his ass. He went from the base or the frame and jumped. Yes, I was not high, y'all. I swear to God, I was not drunk. This was early in the morning. I was very sober in a very clear mind. This fucker jumped from the frame to my fucking carpet and ran underneath my bathroom door.
And when they run, like, it's so fast, you don't know where they're going. So if you lose sight of it, it's like, that's it.
And my carpet's kind of brown. So I open the door, I cut the light on, and it's tile on the bathroom floor, and it's kind of brown. Bro.
All right, he's one of the carpets.
I cut that light on. I said, oh, fuck this shit. I grabbed my bag. And I had to go to the bathroom so bad. I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to go in the front with the kids' bathroom. So I just know when I go back home today and I'm just ready to take a shower. I'm trying to keep it on my mind. That's why I keep saying it. Because I feel like the minute I'm about to take a shower, that motherfucker is going to be like by the sink or some shit like that.
Or just start making noise. Like, just start stumping or something.
I know he's there, and it was a big one. Yeah. So I'm probably not sleeping in my room until my man gets back home.
Let's pray for her, guys.
He can have a room any fucking way. Last couple questions. What's the last TV series you watched?
The Office.
What?
Yeah.
Do they have new seasons?
No, but you know what? I binge watched it, right? And then I actually watched the 9th season over. Like, okay. That has become one of my favorite shows.
Okay. And I've seen episodes here and there, but I've never like actually sat and binge watched. I might do it.
Yeah, Steve Carell he's a genius with that. So yeah, he's hilarious. Because it's just random. I love random things of comedy. Like,
yeah.
You know,
I feel like it's more authentic.
Exactly.
Ooh, excuse me, you guys. Ooh, that's tequila.
Yeah, that's. We're just gonna take it on that sip.
Rain or snow? I don't like fucking either. And I feel like you get wet in either situation. You getting wet.
But rain, because at least, I mean, I guess it dries faster. Yeah. I don't know. It just, you know. Because if it snows, it has to rain to get rid of it.
I would probably choose rain. I probably would choose rain. Probably. So sleeping with your socks on or socks off?
Socks on.
Really?
Yeah. Well,
I fucking hate socks on my feet.
So look, it depends, right? So in the summer, it's socks off because I like to feel cold spots in the bed, like in my feet. Yeah. So, but in the winter, it's like socks on because it could be either way. Like I could be super cold, but, you know, or one of them got to be off. Maybe
one of them got. I feel like one of my socks end up being off, but like it's never like a choice. Yeah. I'm like, how the fuck did this song get off? Last question. What was the last song that you downloaded?
The last song I downloaded was Alex Isley's Orbit.
Alex Isley?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think I've heard that one.
Yeah, so that's Ernie Isley of the Isley Brothers. That's his daughter, and she's like very, very prominent in R&B right now.
Ooh, let me hold on. Let me
Yeah.
tab her real quick.
I just put her on.
You feel me? Cause I love. That's why I was like, I knew who she was. And I had ran across a video.
Yeah.
Or two of her singing live, and I was like, oh, okay, I know who your daddy is. I get it. The last song I downloaded, and this is just because I think I was scrolling through Instagram and had like I love when I rediscover songs where I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot about that. But it was Mariah Carey, Emotions. When I tell you, I was screaming to the top of my lungs, like, I forgot about this song.
You know what happened to me? A song like that, it would be what's the name of the songs? Got somebody who is a beauty. I did that, right? I was singing in the bathroom to that.
And I'm Jamaican, so that's my shit.
Oh, see, boom.
No letting go. Yep.
Yeah.
So okay, cool. End of our rapid fire questions.
I made it through.
You made it through. Cheers.
This drink is really fire though.
It's a good mix. I didn't put cranberry in mine, so I just have the I did lemonade, tequila, and Sprite. Topped it off with. I feel like Sprite and tequila with anything is like top tier.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you want to get spicy, put some tahini on the rim.
Yeah, she's spicy.
You're not. So, anywho, so let's talk background. So I know you are in the music industry. You are a phenomenal singer. Let's start there.
Thank you.
And I don't remember when I started following you, but as we, I had reached out, and so of course I started doing like my digging and stuff. And I'm like, I remember seeing you, because I go to Tribe all the time.
Yeah.
And I remember like who was the artist that was there? Why can't he's a singer-songwriter as well. Eric Bellinger, yes. And I remember you had opened up for him.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But I had seen you there before then.
That was I was there for Halloween and I was there for something else.
And it was phenomenal. Because every time I go to Tribe, people go for the party scene. I go 8 o'clock, I'm eating my little dinner, and I want to see the live show. Like I love live music because like I said, I really wish I could be a singer. Like,
you could.
I wish I had vocals to be able to sing. I would literally sing. I'd be on here singing the whole podcast. So, like, when I actually get to see artists who are very, like, extremely vocally talented, like, I latch onto it. So, like, when I saw that and I followed you, I'm like, oh, he's fucking dope. If you have not, go ahead, just do a quick search. Go follow him. Please do. Amazing. Very, very amazing voice. So, how long have you been within the music industry? What's your music story?
So professionally, it's been about 12, 13 years, right? And but before then, like I was just always doing music just in high school. So it was that's like the dream phase before, actually doing the job you love, right? And so my background, just really getting into the industry, I had the chance to really work on a project as a songwriter. And my cousin, Rashawn Lyles, who was very big in Chicago, he was in a group called Quiet Storm. He and Willie Taylor. Yep. Yeah. And so we found out that we were family around that time. And so that's really how he just like, all right, well, you allowed, well, come on. I know you got it,
I got you.
But then I was like, I've never been in this type of environment where I had to really write, in front of people and, in such a project like this, it was TGT. So it's like, it's Tank, Tyrese, and Genuine. So I'm like, well, I got a shot, it's not guaranteed. And so wrote a couple songs with a few people, other few writers as well. And at that moment, when you're around other professionals, you kind of get more opportunities from there once they figure out, who you are as a person, and then what you can bring to the table, and then how creative you are, from there. It's a relationship in it. So from there, I mean, everything just kind of just been like, not a walk in the park, but it's been our
doors
journey.
Are opening.
Yeah, doors started to open. Even if it just cracked open and it slammed, it was like, okay, well, I know what that is now.
I just need you to open the door just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Let me peek a little bit. And I'm like,
give me a key. That's it. I'll open my doors.
Yeah, give me that mom. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. So being in environments like that, and having to kind of really be on top of your artistry. Have you ever had a point? And I'm sure you have. I think all of us as creatives have felt like you didn't belong there, or like question yourself, like, damn, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Like, have you ever had that, like, imposter syndrome?
Definitely. It's crazy you're saying that. I actually wrote a segment about that a couple years ago, and it did happen to me, and I didn't notice that it was happening to me because, like, I feel a certain type of way, but then when you're in the moment, it's like, wow. When you say, I can't believe I'm sitting here, or I can't believe, that's just like you're saying to yourself, like, I don't think I'm worthy enough to even be in the presence of you. But you are. It's just, this is the moment for it. So I definitely felt that way for a little second. I'm like, am I really deserving of this? Am I working this hard to deserve some, opportunities like this? And the more you get around more people, you start to understand, like, yeah, they're in the same position. We all think this way. So I owned it ever since then. After I just left it from there.
So it's like one situation where it's like, damn, but then you start to realize, you look around the room and you see.
Yeah, it becomes an epiphany, or you become reminded
of who you are. And you know what I also question? This is like off topic for artistry, but I think it also has a lot to do with, in a sense, like some PTSD of just like being a Black individual in any environment. And I'm starting to realize that about myself too. And it's just like, we have to fight so hard, right?
Yes.
And this isn't, no pity party, nothing like that. But it's just the reality of it. So it's like, yeah, it's imposter syndrome, but I feel like it does not matter the environment you are as a Black individual. You always kind of fighting yourself like, I shouldn't be. It's been so many times where I've been in rooms, and me as a digital marketer, that's my 9 to 5, and been doing it for 8-9 years. And literally within the last year, I've really felt like, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, I am who I am. I'm an expert. I've been like, so often I've had people like undermine my expert and let them do it. Cause I'm just like, okay, maybe they got a point. But like within the last year, I'm like, no, I know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
I am an expert. I've done this. I've, have made brands so much money, have made my own brands money. And I think it has a lot to do with that. In most cases, being the only Black person in the room sometimes.
Yeah,
it's weird.
And I used to feel that way, right? And I'm gonna tell you why I stopped thinking that way. Because when I walk into the room, not only am I representing my brand, but I'm also just really showing people really who I am, and I'm not hiding it. So the more you can accept me who I am and do business with me, the more comfortable we can be, and not have to hide the rock. You know what I mean? So it's those situations, and even with Black folks, like, if I walk into the room with you, it's like we all have to give each other opportunities as well, you know, because at some point we were at our lowest, and at some point we probably at our highest, and we're in the middle, so it's like one of those type of things, it's a even medium, I like to call it with that, you know what I mean? But that's really dope, digital marketing, it's time consuming, isn't it?
Oh my God, like,
jeez.
I love what I do, and currently I have 8 brands that I manage. And
8 brands.
Yeah, it's a struggle sometimes. It really requires you to be very organized, which I am. But I also, so digital marketing is a general term. I specifically manage the social media profiles for these clients.
Nice.
And I do email marketing too, and some Google ads for a couple of them. And I would say that social media is like my least favorite of the categories of social or digital marketing.
It's a jerk.
It is, and it's very difficult, but it's also very fun, and I am thankful to have clients that allow me to be creative.
Good.
Because that's the hard part. Like, in any creative field, any field where you are an artist, like, when you are presented with a task or a client or a project where you're able to actually be creative, you get the best work out of it.
Exactly.
I have a couple clients who are, like, very particular about what it is, and I'm just like, they're moving pretty slow. And then on this other side, I have my clients who let me do what the fuck I want to do.
Yeah.
And they are doing so well because it's like y'all are trusting me with, what it is that I'm an expert in. So I enjoy it. I definitely do enjoy it.
That's good. You said a key thing, though, just actually letting people trust what you do for their brand. So that's good.
So how was that when you're, like, writing songs? And, being able to, like, trust yourself, trust your judgment. Is it a matter of you are creating songs that just so you're able to have, like, something that is catchy or, like, you know what I'm saying, something that sounds good?
Yeah.
Or are you more on, like, I'm creating songs so that this is meaningful for me? Which one would you say you're on?
Man, I really love the creative side. Like, I really
Mm-hmm.
love being creative. So I'll admit, like, I get selfish with that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like I want to be able to love it because I'm the one singing it. But then also, once I find something that's really catchy, it's like, oh, okay,
That's
now I'm thinking about everybody else now because I want
yeah.
you guys to be able to sing it or remember the song.
Yep.
So yeah, that's just my creative process, and it could be different sometimes. Like I can
Yeah.
either start, because I produce as well, so I could either start the beat or if there's
Oh, you
already
produce as well
I do.
too. That's what's up.
So if I have a beat already, I'll work off that. It just got to speak to me. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like, if the beat ain't right, like I'm not
It's not
really,
there.
I can't get really creative. No matter what anybody says, like, man, no, this is the,
Yeah, you gotta
but
feel
I
it.
can't
You
hear it,
gotta feel
man.
it.
Yeah, I gotta feel it.
So what do you think? And I'm gonna tell you what I think actually.
Okay.
You name off these skills that you have, right? Singer, songwriter, you produce. I feel like you are very talented, very creative. And I feel like artists like that, um, not to say you're not successful, but just kind of speaking in general terms, like their road to success. I feel like takes a little bit longer than like folks that just kind of come out with something that's catchy or sounds good,
Yeah.
or they have influence, right?
Exactly.
I don't feel like it doesn't before it's like you had to know how to sing or have to be able to
Yes.
write or
Yes.
or do the both of it, right?
Yes, both,
to be
yeah.
able to be successful. Now I feel like it's just like if you have influence, it don't even fucking matter anymore.
Yeah, no,
What do
yeah.
you think?
You could be either or, so it's what you choose. You
Okay.
choose why you want to do this.
Okay.
And so people have different angles on why they want to do certain things. Like the reason why I want to do music and do things now is totally different from somebody else. You know what I mean? So if I wanted to, yeah, I could just be a goofball and be an influencer and man, be famous. But then, it's always like a thin line between it because now people are expecting you to be just this. You know what I mean? So
I put you in a box, I feel like.
yeah. So me as the artist, I just want to show people a lot just really who I am, and then if you authentically love that, then you love it.
That's a plus.
Yeah, it's a plus.
Yeah.
The cult following is better than just people that just follow you just because they just liked one viral video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I agree too, and I feel like again, most people who are really talented, they don't really care about the aesthetics of all of it, right? It's just like I'm doing this because I actually enjoy doing it.
Enjoy doing it.
And I feel like you will see for sure way more longevity than most.
Yes.
It's like I can do this, and I'm cool with being behind the scenes and writing a song. You know what I'm saying? I don't need all of that.
Yeah.
So I really do agree with that. But I'm just like, ugh. Not to say that R&B is dead because I don't think it's dead, or maybe I don't know. Is R&B dead?
Nah, it's not dead. It's actually it's thriving. Actually,
Okay.
It's thriving. Not mainstream wise, but it's
And that's
thriving,
what I was gonna say. I'm like, I don't think it's
it's
mainstream.
thriving
like it used to
indie
be.
wise though,
Okay.
and a lot of mainstream artists
I will
are
say
pissed
that.
about that. They're very pissed.
I feel like
about
the
it.
UK is taking over
Yep.
the R&B scene. It is
Every
crazy.
other market is taking over.
Yeah.
So and it's thriving. They don't want to admit it, but that's just what it is because we're putting everything into a different category.
Yeah.
And I feel like R&B for me actually means something different than just actually exploiting it.
Okay.
So it really is just about love. It's rhythm and blues, so it's
Yeah.
about really what you feel. You got rhythm along with the blues that you feel.
Yeah.
So that's just what it is.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can see that. Okay. That's a little different.
Yeah.
I like it though. And I also think that I don't think it's dead. And there's this conversation, right? Because of course, it's not as mainstream as it was in since probably like the 90s, maybe 90s, early 2000s. R&B was like, baby.
Man, but you know what, saying like, what I feel like happened? I feel like the R&B scene supported hip hop more. And
For
so
sure.
hip hop doesn't support us like we do with them.
At all.
No,
That's a very good point. That is a very good point. I didn't think of it like
because
that.
now we're influencing our R&B with hip hop.
Yeah.
To make it, mainstream.
So what do you think about and I don't think a lot of people, or maybe I'm just not in tune as much as I was before, but thinking of R&B samples and stuff like that, do you think the current generation is doing a good job? I know the one song that comes to mind is what is it? Lucky Day.
Yes.
That Over when he did Music Soul Child, and I was like, oh my.
Yeah, Music
God.
actually brought him out to one of his concerts to do that, which is crazy. You know, like it's things like that, like. When you give ode to people that, you know, paved the way in R&B, it's like, and they really love what you do, you have to do it the right way.
Yeah, you do.
You know what I mean? Like, you just can't just do it just to do it.
Yep.
It has to be the right way. You know what I mean?
agree.
You know what other person I feel like had a great sample moment was Tory Lanez on Say It.
Oh, my God.
I really love the way that sample is flowing through that whole song.
And his whole, I don't know if that was the same album, but like when he had Ashanti on, like it was like a bunch of different songs that he did on that album where I was just like, God damn. Like, and you know, like it kind of brings back the nostalgia, and I'm just like, okay, so I guess we can continue to, like, we're doing it. So I would definitely say that they're doing some justice to it, right? Like it's still good, it still sounds good. But I also think that, again, a classic is gonna be a classic no matter what.
It's gonna be a classic, you know.
And I don't think we're looking to like have, I think a lot of people ask like, oh, well, where's like the Music Soul Child? You know what I'm saying? Like, where's all of those people? And I'm just like, we're evolving, you know, like it's a different generation, a different way of creating R&B music. Let's keep the classics at a classic. Like, let it be a classic, and that's okay.
Because they have their own market. A lot of them are actually still touring. Like, you can actually choose to go to their concerts.
If you want to,
If you want to, you know? So, yeah,
they're still making music, and a lot of them are still, like, doing in the rooms, producing stuff, writing stuff, for sure. So I agree with that wholeheartedly. Who would be, like, in today's generation, today's musical generation, who's your like go-to R&B artist?
My go-to for a while it was Lucky Day. I felt
that
like
man is amazing.
Yeah, I felt like Lucky actually, and shout out to D.Lylez. You know, D.Lylez really set the record straight with just the sound of what Lucky is right now, with the song Roll Some Mo. I felt like when I first heard that, I felt like, damn, this is what R&B should sound like right now. And it's setting the tone. It feels nostalgic. The guitars, when I heard him, I'm like, the strings, the lyrics, the tone, the singing. And I'm like, damn, okay. This is somebody I want to work with, you know? And there's a few, Alex Isley. There's another guy named Devin Morrison, man.
I feel like I've heard of him before.
And he's done a few things with Masego. And Masego is nice, too.
So what's the song with him and Sir? And I listened to that song 3-4 times.
I just downloaded that song the other day too.
Oh na na.
Yeah. I don't know the name of the song, but yes, it's like songs like that that's actually saving us. You know what I mean? But it's not like it's mainstream, but it's there.
Yeah, it's there.
You can go get it.
Like, and it should be mainstream because I'm like, that's exactly, or at least for me, that's what I'm looking for in R&B music. That is it. And I remember when I first heard Roll Some Mo. And I was high. I was at my friend's house, and it was a video that, you know, in between YouTube videos, they have advertisements of other videos. And I just remember being like glued to the TV. I'm like, who the fuck is this?
No, I found him on one of the Grammys, and he was on the Nissan stage, and he performed it.
Okay.
And that's because some of the guys from Chicago, musicians from Chicago, they were playing behind him.
Okay.
And I was like, let me watch it. And I heard, and I'm like, damn. Yeah. Do these people hear what he's doing right now?
Like, do y'all hear this?
Like, do y'all really hear what like the whole place would have been like, damn, this is. And then what happened? You know, he wins R&B Album of the Year, you know, 2 years later. And that's just phenomenal for me.
Yeah, you know? I agree. I love him, love her. Love him.
Yeah, her is. Oh my.
I said love him, love her.
Yeah, her is.
Oh my God. And even like Jasmine Sullivan is my go-to too.
She's finally getting the freedom she deserves.
And have been around for forever.
Yeah, but see, and that's what I'm gonna tell you. Going back to mainstream and indie, right? As a mainstream artist, the song she has now, there's no way she could have did that when she got signed. Because it wasn't the norm.
This is true.
But as a indie artist and recreating her deal and what she's doing now, it's like, man, this has always been Jasmine, but thank God she's getting her flowers now, so people know she's phenomenal, you know.
And I like to listen to her, and I like to listen to a lot of artists like their acoustic versions.
Yes.
Oh my God. Like if y'all, whatever R&B song, whatever song that gets you in your vibe, see if that artist has like an acoustic, a tiny desk, something. Like listen to them with like a live band, live music. It's going to check.
I got to send you some places, like
Please
playlists.
do.
So I create
Please
a lot of
do.
playlists. On
And
Apple
let me know
Music,
next
Spotify.
time you're at fucking Tribe or
For
anywhere
sure.
doing live show. Like I am a sucker for live. What is the place where they do live shows and you like kind of sit on the floor?
So Far Sounds.
Yes.
Yes,
I did.
I do
I
those
was
all the
there
time.
before. I can't remember who it was. I don't remember. I had so much wine that time. But it was such a vibe. And I'm like, I love this. Like, that's what. And granted, I love my hood music. I like my trap music.
Yeah.
That's, it depends on the vibe. But my everyday is always going to be R&B or soul. Yeah. Like, always.
And you got to love people that actually come to see you and they don't know who you are, but they're paying money to secretly. It's like almost a blind date almost. Like
it is. Like,
you're paying for this, but it's like, I don't know who's going to be performing. But somehow they pick out the great ones. Like, so.
But definitely keep me up to date. Let me know.
I got you.
Oh, excuse me, y'all. Hold on.
Tequila.
Child. It's the liquor.
Damn, that's actually good.
It tastes like, ooh, look, that's a third or fourth compliment you done
really
gave me.
Though,
so I'm a retired bartender. Not retired. What did I say? I'm an inactive bartender.
Inactive.
Because I will go back to doing it for sure. For sure. If I can find somewhere where I can like just create a schedule whenever I feel like it, I don't think that's ever going to happen.
I mean, hey, the tips is good.
It is. It's really good. But I just enjoy the community around like creating cocktails. And when I can go to a place that just allows me to create and not just like a gin and fucking, lemonade or like a whiskey and coke. Like, no, I actually want to create.
Drinks,
I want to create a cocktail. I want to garnish it. Like, I want to play with some colors. So when I'm actually able to do that, which is why I love doing these for the podcast. Like, let me create y'all some cocktails. I'm glad you like it. So one thing I did want to talk about. And again, this episode is going to come out in June.
Okay.
So it'll be a couple months from when all this shit has happened. But I'm sure you've seen all over the goddamn internet, social media, the shit that happened these past couple of weekends with the kids being downtown.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to start there. But I know that one thing I did want to mention and point out is, or to talk about rather, let's flow into this, the kind of the negative side of like trap music and like the influence that those types of artists have on our kids. But let's just talk about that even in general. Do you have kids?
I actually do not.
You do not?
Not yet.
I have two. Well, my boyfriend has one. I have one. That's my son.
Okay.
He's 12.
Y'all hear that? That's how it's supposed to be.
You feel like that's
one. It's
and I only explain it because it'll be people who know me and they're like, "You got a son? What the fuck did that happen?" I'm like, "Well, that's my bonus, baby, but that is my son." So, and him being around that age, preteen, teen age, and then one thing I wanted to ask, in situations like that, how much responsibility? What's the word I'm looking for? We're just going to stick with responsibility. How much responsibility is it on the parents?
Even as a parent, you think about it, your influence on any intelligence that's younger than you is actually super important because, from something you birth, innately as a mother to a child, they're going to act like you, right? Yeah. But then it comes down to a point to where it's almost what you allow. You know what I mean? So if you are in this environment where you allow things to happen, and then your children are kind of going to be exposed to that.
Yeah.
So they're exposed to different things probably at certain ages, and now it's like it's a no-brainer. This is what I've seen. This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But I really can't really fault the children. I'm not gonna lie. Like, we were bad.
I was thinking about
weren't. This is another level. Like, I'm.
We were probably fighting each other.
Yeah,
but
I'm not about to jump on people's cars. I don't know if that was like really cool, but I feel like it's social media as well because it's the most outrageous thing. So they probably wanted to go viral and thought like, all right, we're finna do this and we're going viral. You actually did Congratulations.
But it's not in a good way.
Not in a good way. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like we have fault too as that, not even as parents, but as just millennials in a sense, because, we were the next generation to actually teach. And I felt like we became a lot selfish with what we wanted, and we neglected a lot of things with them. But it still needs to be a thin line of respect when it comes to, children and their parents.
And that's the part that scares me. I don't think that these kids, again, I was bad.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie about it. Like, I'm fucking terrified for my daughter.
I was terrified of my parents.
Oh my
bad, though.
God.
I don't know.
We went downtown. We were starting shit, but like, you see an adult, somebody's trying to reprimand you. Like, there was like a complete halt. Like, all right, cool. You're right. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah,
like,
get on, bro.
like, we were starting shit amongst other kids.
Yeah.
It's like these kids have absolutely no respect
at all
for adults. And I agree with what you said. And I think that a lot of the influence with social media, or social media has a lot to do with their influence, right? Because then again, you see a lot of these people who go viral on TikTok for doing dumb shit.
Yeah.
You see a lot of adults doing the same dumb shit.
If
and I'm like, this is what the kids think is okay.
That's what they see, it's okay. So if you do it, it's like, oh well, if you doing it, I'm gonna do it too.
It's crazy.
But the thing is that, when you're a child, you don't think about the consequences
at all.
always.
I mean, you're not supposed to
a
certain extent.
To a certain extent.
You're a child. Your parents are supposed to think about those consequences for you.
Yeah, well, as adults, it's like, okay, I'm gonna make a decision where I'm just gonna just F up or not. You know what I mean? Like, I'll take that. Yeah, tap on the chin. But as a child, it's like, I don't care. I'm just gonna be free and have fun,
Because that's what I can do right here, right now.
But it's a limit to it.
Yeah.
Like, it was only a limit to how much fun I was gonna have until really, if it was an altercation and I'm pissed, it's like I'm not thinking about what's happening.
Yeah, at all.
But I'm not gonna take it to the extreme where I just got to do the most. You know what I mean?
Like, it was bad, y'all.
No,
I don't know if you guys have seen it, but that shit to the point where I'm just like, okay, like, and it happens every year. Don't get me wrong.
Every year.
It's getting bigger and bigger and worse. And like, is that a word? Worse? Worse and worse.
Just worse.
It's getting worse. Just worse.
Just worse. Just worse.
It's getting worse. And not to laugh and like, to make light of it. It's still a horrible situation. Don't get me wrong. But I also feel like it clearly is a matter of the lack of resources. These kids also don't have anywhere to fucking go.
Yes, man.
There isn't enough resources for children to be able to, you know what I'm saying, not choose to. Because at the end of the day, it's like, for me, growing up and being their age, like, I had sports and all that good shit to go to. And not saying that the kids don't have sports now, but if you're in a family or a household that is poverty-stricken, you don't have anywhere else to go.
You don't have anywhere else to go.
And I feel like it's going to get worse. Summer months are coming. These kids are about to be out of school. They're not going to have anywhere to go. So I just wish we had more, like, community centers and, even just things for the government to create for our children and environments and I mean, let's call it in Black and brown communities. That's just the reality
and
of
then,
it.
Economy is like, it's changing, like it's meaning more of like the equity than it is just having actually what you need for it to survive. So, like, this is why I used to work with children. I used to be like a substitute teacher, and I never thought I would be doing that. But I did it for a couple years.
For what grade?
It was from 4th all the way to 12th. This was at Longwood Academy.
Okay.
On 95th and Loomis.
Yep.
And I did it for a couple years, and I changed my approach with just working with kids. Like, I'm not. First of all, I'm not gonna yell at you. I'm not gonna disrespect you. Right? You guys
they get enough of that. I don't think that's what they need.
Yeah. So the little ones is like, okay, we respect, and then you have 10 all the way up to 12. Right? It's like, look, I'm gonna treat you like a young adult. Whatever you do, I'm gonna give you an option, and whatever decision you make, you're gonna have to live with it now.
That's a good way to do it too. It's like I'm gonna, as a parent, and I do that with my kids. Like, I'm not allowing you to make your own decisions in a sense, but like, I give you options. You choose whatever option you want. So we either gonna do this or we gonna do that.
Because
that's the only
tap that butt, but I'm gonna give you an option.
Yep. Here's the options.
Yeah.
You can do this or you can do that. That's it. And most times when I tell, especially my 4-year-old, and even if she's in distress and she doesn't like either options, I'm just like, well, that's it.
That's
either you
life,
can do this or that, or we can go resort to the last one, and you don't want that.
You don't want
so pick and choose what you want to do, baby girl.
No, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's cool.
But yeah, that I just wanted to talk about that a little bit, because I feel like there's so many policies and legislations around like everything else, gun control, just even violence in general, right? But it's like when it comes to our kids and our communities, it's like, where are the laws and legislations for that? Because if we think about it, this generation is going to be, you know what I'm saying, our leaders of, it's so cliche, leaders of tomorrow, right? But I mean, that's the truth.
Their population
These are going to be
is
your
going
citizens.
to be very, their population is going to exceed what we were, right? For one, and don't get me wrong, even though they are, you know, out of control, first of all, if you think about they are geniuses because they are in the age of technology. So they're going to become geniuses at a younger age.
Or already are.
They already are, right?
They're smart as hell.
What's going to happen is who they come in contact with next to change their lives. So if that doesn't happen, then they will become just a statistic, right? But it'll be in worse terms.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree to that. And I also feel like, last point, because I'm like, we could talk for a minute about this.
That's a good topic, though.
I was so pissed off and just, I was on both sides, right? As a mother, I'm just like, what the fuck is y'all parents? But then like on the side of me trying to reason with these kids, it's like, but like, what do they have to do? Like, everybody's like, well, why don't they do something creative or do something more productive? I'm like, and who's there to show them how to do that?
They don't know.
They don't know. And you guys aren't providing them with resources to know what to do or to know that there's something else to do.
Right.
And even me going to a predominantly white high school and seeing the difference in resources that I received in comparison to my friends who were in public schools. And I'm just like, the amount of shit that I've been able to, but even me getting pulled over and them seeing the cross on I used to hang it on my rearview mirror, and the license plate having a sticker, I kid you fucking not. Oh, you went to Macaulay? Yeah. All right, cool. Well, you know, my son's an alum for Brother Rice, or my son's an alum. It's like it's like a cult. It's a whole community, like, and they look out for each other. Yeah. And I had so many different opportunities just going to that school, whereas kids who are in, you know, the neighborhood school or just not in the best place academically where they are. And so it's like they just don't have the resources. It's not there. So as much as we want them to think critically and to be creative and to make these better decisions, you guys have to realize the environment that they're being that they were put in. They didn't choose to be there.
You know what, too?
You know?
With that, I think, because, you know, I went to Corliss High School, you know, and I had a blast, like, all 4 years. Like, even the opportunities, I felt
Is
like.
Corliss still open?
Yeah, I think they turned it into a STEM, so it's like.
Okay. I was like,
it's two sides. It's Butler and then it's Corliss, but it's Corliss to me. Like,
okay, yeah. Like, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's cap. So it's like, I had good parents that actually fought for me in different ways. I didn't know.
I love that you say that.
So
you didn't know.
I didn't know, but now I do. It's like, damn, they really did that for me, and I'm out here acting crazy, you know? So they constantly did that. They constantly invested into me, and they knew people. So it was like, I did have a chance. It's what I did to mess that up. Yeah. I just had to act accordingly, and boom, you know?
And there it was.
There it was.
And I like that you say that, too, because my last point, we can move on. I keep saying that because I'm like, this whole situation pissed me off. But the idea of parents being present is extremely important.
Yes.
Because if you think about it in situations where, even if we think about situations where police are involved, right? Or where they're called to a scene or called to a school, I feel like when your parents are involved with you academically, socially, like people know who your parents are, I feel like they get fucked with a lot less. Yeah. Like, oh no, that's Mary's son. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, let me call his mom, or not let me call the police. Yeah. Or, you know what I'm saying?
I've experienced that before.
I have.
For my parents,
for sure. And it's like, you have to be present in your child's life. If not, like, the system's gonna fuck with them and assume that they just don't have anybody there to represent them.
Yes.
So it's like, you gotta be present. As stressful as it can be, I understand. I am a mother. It takes a lot. It be some times where I'm just like, I just want to go fucking sleep. Y'all don't want to go to that damn meeting. Like, I'm tired. But you have to be. Because, again, when they don't see that child having representation, one, they're just going to take who they are and their personality as being them. Whereas if you have somebody that's there to back you up and it's like, okay, such and such is just acting out because I know his mom. Yeah. His mom is always there. His dad's always there. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like you guys just got to. That's my one thing. Like, just be present.
I mean, I feel like you're missing moments for a good reason. Like, for a reason to actually cause some longevity and just, you know,
yeah,
family equity, right? But then other
yeah.
people are just doing stuff just because they just want to live their life. And,
I
you
don't
know what
feel
I mean?
like it.
So,
Well,
yeah.
baby.
You know what I mean? But in other ways, like you can live your life and then still, you know, you making it work. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Compromising it.
agreed. And it's important for fathers to be in children's life. And that's
See?
it. I'm going to say that, and that's it.
And especially for us, you understand?
Yeah.
Right.
What was the damn platform? It was like the audio platform of like Twitter, where like you could go on. Where was the goddamn name of that place?
That's
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse, yeah.
And so it was essentially, I guess Twitter is doing it now, where they have like a Twitter Clubhouse where you can kind of. But I was in a room when all this shit was happening. It was like a bunch of people talking, a bunch of public figures, and this young boy came on, and he was talking about how he was there that day. And how he was like, literally, majority of the kids that were in that environment, he was like, we came there to have fun. He was like, it took a handful of kids to start doing some dumb shit. And he's like, it wasn't like, everybody keeps saying like, oh, well, why didn't you leave? And yada, yada, yada. He's like, you got to understand, when fights start breaking out and police get involved, we can't just walk away. He's like, you start walk away, police are looking at you like, no, what are you doing? Stop, you know, shit like that. So he's like, and it was so sad because he was like, you could tell he was raised, you know, properly. And he's just like, my aunt knew I was going downtown, right? That wasn't an issue. But when all that shit started happening, he's like, I called my mom, like, I don't know how the fuck to, you know what I'm saying? Like, what should I do? And she's just like, you know, stay where you are, you know, I'm gonna come to you type of shit. But it's just like, think about the amount of children who were there and innocent in a sense. Like, we just came to have fun. It's not against the law to just go downtown and have fun with your friends. But when you guys start to do shit, and it takes one rotten apple to spoil it for fucking everybody. Now we all look like fucking criminals.
Yeah,
like,
no, that's how it was for us too. And I
like,
understand
what?
that point. I understand that, and that is a factor that happens. You know, a lot of them just didn't go down there saying we just gonna go down there and just mess it up.
I hate that narrative.
You know what I
think
mean?
that most of those kids
it's just people, like certain kids, they don't know how to have fun in certain type of ways, and so it just becomes a camaraderie and like, all right, everybody, let's just do this. You know, let's just one bad apple, and then now everybody's doing it.
And this is gonna be a whole nother topic.
Yeah, nah. But it's good,
a lot
though.
of kids are on drugs. Let's be very fucking honest.
What?
And when weed was a thing, right? Everybody was smoking weed. Everybody was getting high. That's fucking different. Kids is popping pills. Kids are on fucking fentanyl. Like, let's be real.
They redefine
it's different.
what drug is.
It's different, and you can tell just the craziness, the chaos that broke out. I'm just like, that's not. No, it's something else that's there. Yeah. And it's sad. It really is.
You know what else
sad.
was the drug though for us, right? Really, let me ask you this. And you probably had it because, you know, the school you went to, but do you recount how many times you had breakfast going to school or at school? What was your breakfast like?
Honey buns.
Honey buns,
Flaming hot
chips,
with cheese. And this was by
juice,
choice. There was
right?
juice. There was, and again, I went to a Catholic school, all-white Catholic school. My first year I went to Maria. I don't know if you know that school. So it was like the Black Hispanic Catholic school. So it was a little bit more urban there. But even like in both situations, there was an option to have breakfast. But like, I want to meet up with my friends. I want to do what everybody else is doing. We eating honey buns in the microwave,
chips and
juice,
cheese,
fucking
like
flaming
all
hot
of that,
with cheese and peppers.
all of that had an effect on us, and we didn't know it. Right?
It did.
So,
I'm sleepy as hell in class. I can't fucking pay attention.
Like, but it just messes with us, and like you would consume all of that, and then you take drugs with that stuff, and it's incredible.
It's different. So do you think that, let's speaking, you know, getting back into music and this idea of, and I hate what it is doing for our children, because I do think that trap music is a very negative influence, because kids are very literal. They're very literal.
To the
if
point.
you say, you know, pick this up, do this, do that, mix a molly with your Sprite, that's what they gonna do. Yeah. You feel me? And so I know that there is an influence there, but do you think that there should be a, what's the kind of question? Should there be a push to kind of remove trap music, or like that idea of having that type of music as mainstream? Because I feel like trap music is fucking mainstream right now. It is. Everybody wants to make a track. Everybody wants to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Talk about all the negative. Everybody want to be in the streets. Everybody want to be making money. But it's just like, that's not the influence that you guys need. Yeah. And they're not going to understand that. They don't want to hear that.
Yeah, you know, let's take it back to in high school, like when we had our forms of trap music, right? And we had our Gucci, we had our, our Master P's, our, such and such, our Southerns, right?
Yeah.
And what it kind of meant for us in a sense of just having a good time. Like you got your Nuck If You Bucks that sometimes it might make you want to just knock somebody.
And even Nuck If You Buck, it's like,
right? You know what I mean?
Nuck If You Buck. If you fuck with me,
you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like there's a build up.
It's a build up, right? But now, like really, I don't think everybody in that club was living that life.
Yeah.
So now it's like the narrative of that. If they hear somebody talking about that type of story, it's kind of appealing because that's their lifestyle right now. This is their environment. This is what they grew up on, so their uncle or somebody is heavily into it, and even if they don't want to, that's what they're around. So it's actually giving them a voice outside of their actual guardians.
True.
To really say stuff.
Yep.
But so I would say it is, and then I would say it isn't to a certain extent because they don't have to, but they choose to because it's cool.
Yeah.
So
it's like it's there, and I feel like even like trap music for us, right? There's always like subliminals, and I'm even taking that back. Like there were artists that explicitly said what they were doing, but I feel like there was more of a hyper focus on like you in the streets, you getting money, and like I'm speaking on my environment, but I feel like nowadays it's like I'm snitching on myself, and like I'm talking about everything that we're doing. Not to say it wasn't going on back then, but I feel like there's a lot of like, not vulnerability, because I mean we don't want to be vulnerable about those types of situations, but you know what I'm saying? Like speaking on A to Z of everything that y'all got going on in the hood,
the
from
initiation is
bodies
different.
to this. Like they have this body count trend, is what they calling it.
Yeah.
Like it's popular to talk about killing people, whereas back then, not saying that they weren't doing that, but that wasn't some shit to rap about.
Nah, that wasn't
at
something
all.
you just
We're not promoting
say.
that.
Yeah, but
it's crazy.
It's happening. It really is happening, and I can't understand why. Like if I was that type of person, then maybe, but I don't understand why you would need to say it if you're. First of all, if you just got signed to have an opportunity to do something different with your life. I don't think that I want to brag about the life I was in.
I was living, yeah.
I want to say, if I talk about these stories, I'm going to tell you how not to do what I did.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
are there any artists that do that?
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
Why can't I think of none that come to mind?
There's a lot of artists, man.
The tequila's clouding my mind, y'all.
Actually, realistically, you got Kendrick. Anybody
I was
from
literally gonna say Kendrick.
Yeah, you got Kendrick. You got. I mean, let's be honest. Jay-Z did it, right? He said a lot about some things, right? YG, Snoop Dogg. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, they talk about it, but it's like, nah, this is just they'll say the consequences, right? But they won't say like, yeah, I'm still doing this. They be like, nah, I don't,
Even with Kendrick, and I love Kendrick so much. I forget what album that good. What is it? Good Kid, Bad City. What the fuck was it?
Good Kid, Bad City. Yeah.
The song "Sing About Me," where he kind of like went through an entire like different people that he knew in his life and like what happened, the consequences. I love that, and I do wish that we had more of that, right?
Yeah.
The J. Cole's.
J. Cole. You know what I'm saying?
Now, okay, you're right. I'm over here.
Like J. Cole, yeah, and he did that openly about this little one of the songs he had on the album. It was towards. He was talking about Lil Pump, and he was talking about everybody that represented the young generation of rap and how it can consume you and how it won't be longevity. So he was basically trying to tell you, like, look, I get it, King, but you gotta understand, like, take it slow. Like, this ain't what you think it is. That's just be cognizant of what you're doing.
Yeah. So that was a question I wanted to ask. Speaking of like trap music and this trend, so Young Thug.
Ooh.
It's locked away right now. First off, I'm sad as fuck. But when you actually go back, I am, because right? I love my good music, but then I got my one side of me when I be in the gym and when I'm on my way somewhere. I love his music. I love Gunna's music. I do. But when you actually go back and you listen to a lot of shit that was being said, I'm just like, y'all was really telling on yourself. That's crazy.
Yeah, nah, it's like I said, you're excited about what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not thinking about, you with the homies, everybody got some of the same things that's similar.
Mm-hmm.
And you want a hit record or you want things to be good. So you tell these stories not knowing that this is going to be used against you as evidence for a case that nobody beats, right? Unless you snitch.
Hello. I mean,
Unless
we saw.
snitch or your lawyer has something, but it has to be defense-wise.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I feel like that's the worst thing that can happen, right? But then on the other side, expression is expression.
Mm-hmm.
And if I do tell a story, that's why you have to, your words mean everything. So you got to kind of put the story in a perspective where it doesn't incriminate you.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't do that.
You got to be very creative.
Yeah, you got to be very, very creative.
I feel like, so they had, I think it was last year, and I feel like it damn near may have developed because of his case. Of course, they're using his song lyrics as evidence, and now they're trying to create it where that, they're basically saying, I think his lawyer was really fighting for the freedom of speech part of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, you should be able to say whatever it is that you want to say and that not be used against you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, evidence should be evidence, whatever it is that you're being tried for, being
Right.
accused of, like the evidence in that specific case needs to just be that.
Exactly.
And to an extent, I'm like, I do agree. You should be able to say what you want. But at the same time, if you really out here doing certain shit, you probably
like,
shouldn't
bro,
say that.
You crazy,
you
right?
probably should not say that.
But that is the generation that we have.
Yeah.
Like they're not scared. They're very bold about it.
At all.
You know,
and I feel like you when you get to a certain fame too, especially when you come from nothing, and you get to this level, you really feel like you're invincible. And I think situations like this consistently, and not to make all of this about race, but consistently, I feel like it should remind you at the end of the day, you are a black man.
Mm-hmm. Like
you are a black man.
It's just hard enough to be that, and then like to actually have to talk about this. And now I'm in this situation. Is like
now you in this bitch taunting the families and relatives of people that you have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
people have died over this. You know, so
like at some point y'all got to have some type of decency, some type of like there needs to be a line. Like,
but don't get me wrong. Like I've heard a few songs that didn't pertain to what he was talking about.
Oh, I love his music. I'm a fan, not gonna lie.
Cadences
Jeffrey.
and some melodies. I'm like, okay.
Jeffrey.
I hear you. No, I'm not a total fan, but I like what you do creatively sometimes in records. You know what I mean? So it's just I wish you did that more than
that part.
You know?
Yeah,
so,
no, I agree. So would you say that celebrities, artists, should be looked at as like role models? Because I feel like people say it all the time, right? And I feel that when certain things like this come into play and they're like, oh, this is a horrible person, they shouldn't be a role model, or, you know, kids shouldn't look up to them. And then people are saying, like, as an artist, as a public figure, you have this, like, underlying, like, duty to be a role model. And I don't know if I agree with that.
I got you. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thin line between that, too. Like,
yeah, right?
I don't know if I want to be a role model. I would rather you look up to me. I don't want to be your idol. I don't want to be an icon. Just look up to me. I also want you to be better than me because you don't know the trials I had to, or I had to fight just to
get there.
To get this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So as a role model, no. As an influencer, you have to be careful. So, you know, your real life is your real life. So the more authentic you are into who you are, and then actually say like, guys, look, you know, be real with people in a sense, but then also don't do what you want and then wonder why people are now it's backfiring. Well, because you told us this is what this was. When in real life is this. You know what I mean?
I get it.
So a role model, I don't think so. But as an influencer, I mean, this is why we do this, because when we say we want to change the world and impact people, that's when we step in. We want that.
This is true.
So now we got to be that.
And I feel like I like how you say that, because a lot of people in their coming, I keep hitting this mic, in their coming up stages, they always say that, like, I want kids like me to look up to me. And, you know, that's just like the presidential campaign, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, it's going to happen. If you get to a certain point, you become famous, and it really is kids looking up to you. Right? And so that part of it, I'm like, okay, I do understand. But then the other side of it, again, I always resort to your household, your parenting, your upbringing. I don't want my kids to look up to other art. You know what I'm saying? It's like being their role model in a sense.
Yeah, don't think
Not
too
to
much
say,
into them.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, have influence, like be influenced by it, be motivated by it, but like I don't want that to be your role model in a sense.
Yeah,
like
yeah, you don't want to be
I
that.
don't think I want that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, yeah.
Because then again, like there's a lot that comes with that.
A lot.
You don't. Everybody wants a glorified lifestyle until they realize what actually gets put into that day to day and what they actually have to go through. It's not, the grass is never greener on the other side.
It's not, man. It's just like there's just more work and there's more.
Yep.
There's more snakes in the grass. There's more weeds. You know, there's more discoloring. It's, you know what I mean? So you got to kind of
It's a lot more upkeep.
Yeah, it's a lot of more upkeep. You know what I mean?
That's it.
And
more money, more problems.
You know, I didn't always think this way. Like when I was a young artist, I feel like, oh yeah, you know. But now it's like, no, let me just pay attention to what I'm doing now. You know, because I don't want to be that person. You know.
Yep, I agree. I agree. So let's talk about a little bit of, I guess, like expectations for artists and creatives. And I think about Mary when I say statements like this, and people believe that like artists make their best music when they're not doing the best themselves. Like think about like SZA too. Like when she was going through things, Summer Walker was going through things, made creative, amazing albums. So do you think that, or do you agree with this idea that when you are going through hardship, you kind of make some of your best creative works?
I wholeheartedly agree. And the reason why is because it is so great because they don't want you to be able to feel.
Isn't that crazy?
They don't want you to feel to make that. It needs to be a controlled narrative. You know, so that's why sometimes with glitz and glamour, it's always drugs and alcohol stuff. So I have to feel about most of that stuff. But
unfortunately, it's
unfortunately,
so
right?
Yeah.
But I have made some of the most incredible songs in my feelings about certain things, whether it be relationships or just friendships or business or just, you know, just the way the world is or just how I'm feeling today. Like I could wake up one day and I'm just not okay. And maybe it's for no reason, but I got to figure out what is the reason.
What's the reason, yeah.
You know, and so that's probably the best time to make music, when you're feeling, you know. And I tell artists that too, like, you have to have something to talk about. Like, literally talk about your life, like what you go through, like how you feel, like what is going on in your mind, like who are you, you know?
And people want to relate. Everybody wants to feel like they can relate to you too.
Relate, yeah.
So do you think the flip side of that, like when everything is going, and I don't think life is ever going to go perfect, right? There's always going to be something. But like in those instances where like in your current state, everything is going great, you are successful, you feel good, do you think that you're still able to make the same like good quality music?
You can. And for other reasons, it's either, now I have the resources to actually focus on music.
Okay.
You know, or I can make another happy song, or I can make another love song.
Yeah.
You know, it feels that way. You know, that's cool. It's just, if things are going great, then that means you have less to worry about in that moment. It's just a moment. But then when you actually really feel pain, right? So you like the 5 Heartbeats movie, right?
I fucking love it.
So you know what?
Oh, I'm gonna go and watch that.
So right, so you know when Doug said he was like, man, what could be a better writer? You know, he was like, well, J.T. Matthews has to suffer more. Yeah. Right, and I feel like that's a true statement.
Yep.
When you suffer more as a creative, you get more creative.
Yeah.
It will show as a painter. The colors will show as a songwriter. Your writing will show as a singer. You will hear the pain. The rapper, you'll feel the word. You know, all kind of stuff. You know.
And I even think too, because when I think about Chance, remember he made the album where basically the whole album, like he talked about his love for his wife.
Yeah.
And they fucking hated it.
Good Day. It was called Good Day, right?
Yeah, and they hated that shit. And I'm just like, y'all are wild as fuck.
And you see,
this man is happy. He's speaking on his love. He's speaking on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's what it is too. Like,
crazy.
It's just a narrative what people expect to receive as the consumer from mainstream artists. You know what I mean? Like, what Chance did, that's what he always has done. You know what I mean? That's him. But now he has his wife and his family to talk about. And he made there for married people or people that are in love that really want to feel good.
That's a good point. And I guess before his audience wasn't that.
It wasn't that. It's just, you know, I'm myself. I'm going through life. And if you are if you ever took an acid trip, or if you smoked squares, or if you whatever it was, people related to it. You know, so
acid rap was my shit.
yeah, people can, yeah, man. Look, I tell you, look, when I first met Chance, shout out to Chris Classic, man, of Classic Studios. He introduced us, and I met him even in the lower stages of what Classic Studios were before that time, and before when Acid Rap came out, I met him, and then it just blew up, and I'm just like, yo, he's finally just getting what he deserves as the rapper, you know. And his father just put the whole campaign. It was incredible. Yeah, incredible to see that.
I wholeheartedly agree too. Just being from Chicago and like. Me and him weren't like directly friends, but just kind of being around people that knew him and like, like when he did a lot, like showcasing like the DIY scene, like all that good stuff. I'm just like, I remember this guy. And then like, I remember when I saw him on a Facebook commercial and I was like, what the fuck? And then I had ran into him in New York when he was shooting, what was it? Juice? Yeah. And I'm like, this nigga didn't make. And I was just like so happy for him because I'm just like very well deserved, very creative individual.
Revolutionized
you can say what the fuck you want to
campaigning.
say. Like the man is creative. He really is creative, very talented. His brother too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're very, very creative, very talented. So I always think about that. Of course, being from Chicago and like having that idea where I'm like. Even thinking of Mary, like how much success she's had, I'm just like, it's always heartbreak after heartbreak after fucking heartbreak. That's all they want to hear.
That's all they want to hear is heartbreak.
I mean, we've all been through it, and I know there's always a time that you can reach back into and be like, damn, I remember that moment. Let me write about that.
And that's her audience, right? Like that was her audience. She knew who her audience was, so she's like, let me just tell y'all what this man did, what that happened. You know, it's like, well, when they gonna eat that up? You know? Exactly. And the man would be like, damn, Mary, you know, you right. you know, you making me feel like a asshole, but
let me get my shit together.
Let me get my stuff together.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Nah, I agree. So if we think about like industry standards or standards, right? What the audience would want. Yeah. Do you think that there is a balance for you in particular, like either being what the industry wants you to be or being like non-conforming, like doing what it is that I want to do? Yeah. Is there ever a balance, or do you really have to choose to be one or the other?
At first, it was I chose what I wanted. Got a rude awakening once I crossed over into that line, because you see what it really is. And once you get to that point, then you start to say, okay, now this is what I want to do. And so now I got a balance. So I know if I want that, I got to kind of do this business-wise to do that. I'm at the point now to where, you know, I know who I am. And so if that doesn't align with what I'm trying to do with my vision, I mean, it's just best, you know, my interest doesn't conflict with yours.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I like that. I like that. Come, let me cheers.
Cheers.
But I always think of that too as well. Like that's always an ongoing question for me. Because you see so many artists too, who I think are very talented, and it's just like, damn, they're doing what the industry wants, and it's like they aren't even allowed to be as creative as they want to. And I think that, and you could let me know your insight, because I'm not in the music industry, but I can see like a lot of people going independent and not really wanting to work with labels. Right. Even if the label will give you a pedestal that you need, it's just like, I really want to creatively be me. Right. And these record labels and the industry quite often won't allow you to do it because they're marketing. And I get it. As a digital marketer, I be telling some of my clients,
you got to do it.
This is what I know what you don't want to do, but this is what the audience wants, and this is what's going to work. And I feel like in those instances, you are not able to be yourself. So I'm happy to hear for you too as well that like you're able to kind of be yourself and be as creatively you as you would want to be.
Yeah, you know, the audience, they're spoon-fed. I mean,
absolutely.
They know what they like, but then they don't. Once you hear something repeatedly over and over again and you see it,
I agree.
It's like, I guess I like that, but you don't, because you just see this ad or you hear, you're used to it. Yeah. So I think that's just what happens. And so that gets into artists' head a lot. You go back and forth about, man, should I be doing this or not? Should I just go ahead and just, bite the bullet? You know? But I decided not to do that, you know, and I mean, so far it's cool.
Yeah.
You know
You're like,
mean?
I'm good.
I mean, it could be better. Of course, you know, I see places where I can elevate more.
Yeah.
But that's just gonna come with the right type of conversation to have. You know?
And I feel like every level within your success story, within your career, it's always going to be a point where you can do a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
There's always going to be that point. But I agree with what you say as well. So it's like, as long as I can be authentically me, and I say this all the time, like that's success to me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? If I can
it,
be me, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, it just gets weird when it's like,
Yeah.
man, do you really know? Like, nah. Let's
So
not do it.
what is for you, like your ultimate, not like your, I guess your end goal. Like what would be in a perfect world where you would want to be within the music industry?
Within the music industry, I would love for people to know, like, anybody who I work with, if you're in the industry, you know, just really who I am as a person and what I want to bring to the table to, you know, to help create, you know, in that sense. And of course, as an impact, I do want to reach certain parts of the world, you know, and along the way, we figure that out.
Yeah.
You know, but the end goal, just overall, if I can just impact the people around me first, then I can reach, you know, other people I don't know.
Okay.
But then sometimes it's like the people you don't know are the ones that actually are impacted first before the people that are around you are, because they don't always see the vision, right?
Yeah.
It's only until it just pops off and it's like,
Always,
oh, that's what you were trying to do, you know? And then it just somehow it happens. But my end goal really is just I want to really show love in a sense through Darius. You know what I mean? Like, you know, through D.Lylez and in any way that I could show that, whether it's through my art or just being a person or just, you know, lending a helping hand, you know, in that sense. And, man, making you realize, like, it's more than life than just actually being committed to just what you want to do. Live life, you know what I'm saying? You know, stay mentally, physically, and spiritually prepared. You know what I mean? That's just what I'm on, you know.
And I agree with that, too. Like, just live life. Do what it is that, I mean, of course, be a moral, responsible person.
Yeah, more
morally responsible, you know, don't be an asshole.
Be better than me.
You know, but you know, live your life. Do what it is that makes you happy. And I feel like when you're able to combine your passion with your purpose.
Yes.
Like, I feel like that.
Purpose.
Yeah, that right there is like, okay, cool. I can continue to live life as I want to and know that I'm doing something. And I see that for you. I think that you are doing a great job.
Thank you.
I think you are a very creative, very phenomenal artist. Especially, you know, I wanted to have you here. So I'm like, look, he get that big break, y'all. Remember, he was here.
I got you.
But no, for real though, I really do enjoy it, and I wish you nothing but the best of success. And I think that what you're doing and what you're trying to achieve, like it's gonna get there, and it's getting there. Let's say
it'll get there. It's just one person at a time. You know.
Yeah, you're very, 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 very successful, and will continue to be that.
Thank you.
So
you too. You know what you're doing for us. Like you're creating an opportunity for us to, you know, and not just artists, other creatives and people that are actually trying to do something. And so it comes back around. Yeah. Karma is not always bad. It's good.
There is good karma. There is good karma. Okay. So leave us today. I wanted to know, like, what, if you can think of one song that, like, say you wake up in the morning, you're like, and this is for me maybe personally, because I be having my days where I'm just like, damn, I need some type of music. Music is my therapy, right? So what is that one song that'll, like, get you out the bed, get you going for the day?
For the day. It is an Ozzy Brothers song. And
I
sampled this song, and it's called Footsteps in the Dark.
Ooh.
And it's a very prominent song because a lot of people sample the song. Ice Cube did it with Today is a Good Day. And it's a song. It's that groove, man.
It is.
I can't get enough of the boom.
Yeah.
I can't get enough of that groove. And how Ron just, you are really good. It is like, yo, this is so, like, this is the way to wake up.
It is.
You know, I don't smoke, but if I did, it'd be like, okay, this.
He say, Ice Cube did the shit with that damn song.
Yeah, he did it.
He did it. Oh my God.
But you know what? That's a perfect example of taking a sample and making it mean something different for you.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, that's where Ice Cube came from.
Today is a good day, baby.
That's where he came from.
Today, I ain't even had to use my AK.
He didn't have to use it. You feel what I'm saying?
All right? My mama ain't get on my nerves. Like today is a good day.
Now, if he started singing, then it'd be like...
be a little different.
Okay, you kind of tweak, but, you know, but you rapped about your everyday life.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's my song. That's my song.
Come on. That's how you know good music.
Yeah. And it used to be Sounds of Blackness. It's called Optimistic.
Okay.
You can win. Keep
Oh, no, I have.
your head to the sky, right? It's kind of corny, but it's like, man, it just gets me going. Brushing my teeth.
That was on a couple movies.
A lot of movies.
Yeah.
I think it was on if I want to say Sisters Act or like.
It was Sisters Act.
Yeah.
It was Sisters, and that might be the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
You're absolutely wow. Look at you. Come on now.
I told you playlist. Check my playlist out.
You gotta send it to me.
I got you.
And maybe I'll share it with y'all. I don't know if y'all deserve it yet.
Maybe. No.
Drop a comment if you want to get this playlist. You say what?
Yeah, you gotta keep some jams.
You feel me? Like y'all can't have this vibe that I'm having.
I can't appreciate it.
Penzel Washington himself.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Penzel, that's my new name, by the way, ladies.
Penzel, you gotta change your. You gotta put it somewhere like in the forefront. We need that.
I'm actually,
on
you know
t-shirt,
what? You know what? This creative name is Dree, right? And she does hoodies and she does skincare and other things like that. She's written books and she actually made up a mock of some hoodies and it's called Penzel Washington. And I tried it out. I should have wore it today, but it's like, I just want to wear something. My mood was different. But I'm going to definitely let you see it.
Please
and
do.
If it just goes crazy, I'm going to start selling.
I'm ordering some.
Yeah.
Penzel Washington. Let's get it. Well, thank you
for
coming here. This is a very beautiful episode. I appreciate all of it. And don't forget to leave your wherever they can find you. If you have anything coming up soon, any shows, whatever it is that you want to shout out, go ahead, give it to the world.
Yeah, so I got a lot going on, and so you can find me, keep up with me on in social media, wherever you stream music, D.Lylez, D.Lylez, and you can also find me on YouTube, which will be because I became a little something, from the voice. A little something. And so I had to use my real name for YouTube.
Yeah,
so that so my real name is D.Lylez, so that's D.A.R.I.O.U.S.
It was the fact that John Legend turned around like immediately.
Oh yeah, quickly. Him and Kelly Clarkson
like they were fighting for you.
And I blacked out.
Did you really? And we didn't talk about that. I'm sorry, y'all. We gonna wrap it up at this. How was that?
It was.
Oh my goodness.
It was fast.
Yeah.
It was fast.
It was like before you knew it, it was over with.
Yeah, it was over.
You did a phenomenal job.
Thank you, but it was fun, and I actually did that for several reasons. One, at first I didn't have a reason. I just my friends were sending me stuff and people referring me, but I thought it was spam in my email, and I actually did it, and then from there I made it through. It was like crazy.
Yeah.
And then I was able to bring my family together and tell people my story of really how I became really Darius, and why I'm doing it right. And then I use it as a business move,
Hello. It's a very phenomenal marketing tool.
Yeah, so it's just like, hey, I'm here, I'm through, why not?
Do you get those, do you get to benefit from those connections like after the show, or was it like a kind of in the moment thing?
In the moment you do, it's all about your impression.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I talked to John a little bit just on social media, when he can respond, so it's not like a big deal.
Yeah.
If he don't respond, it's like, that's cool, whatever, what I mean? But at least I sat with him and talked with him. We have similarities, He rock with Chicago, he know what it is, with Kanye on the first album, all that other stuff. So he knew automatically what to expect after turning the chair. It's like, oh, you say Chicago, oh, okay, well, let's do something. But that's just where you can find me on YouTube, Darius Lyles, D-A-R-I-O-U-S, L-Y-L-E-S, and then my artist name D.Lylez, D-L-Y-L-E-Z. And then if you want to go to Spotify, Apple Music, you can check me out on there too, D.space L-Y-L-E-Z.
Yes, sir. And for all of my friends who weren't hooked on phonics like me, it's not Lylez. It's D.Lylez.
I could say I'm Puerto Rican or something, but I'm not.
But I'm not.
I'm not.
Well, thank you again. And you guys, thank you for joining yet another episode of the 312 podcast. Again, as always, if you're just getting here in this episode, go look at the last episodes, like, comment, share, subscribe, leave me a review. And if you've been here since day one, I thank you. I appreciate you. And we're going to continue to have these conversations. Let us know. Jump in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. And I kind of want to know, what's your go-to R&B song? I want to kind of touch my audience a little bit, see what y'all got. See what's in y'all head.
I got a challenge for you.
Okay.
Right? So if you guys are gonna put your go-to R&B song, right? No mainstream. Don't do any mainstream artists. It's gonna be hard.
Talk right there.
No mainstream artists. I want you to see how hard it is going to be.
Ooh.
I want you to see it.
Because even me, I'm just like, nope.
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be really hard.
So there we go. There's your challenge. No mainstream artists. Let's talk about it. And yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all. Until next time.
Nice.
Deuces.